Hello dear learners, I am Dr. Asya Mudassir. If you have watched the previous video, you already know that the structure of teacher education curriculum begins with the theoretical foundations. But knowing the theories alone is not enough to become an effective teacher. A teacher must also know how to teach in the classroom, and this is where pedagogical studies become important. Now, let's understand the second and the third component of teacher education curriculum structure, that is pedagogical studies, teaching methods, and practicum and field experience. Now let's understand the pedagogical shift, teaching methods. Pedagogical studies refers to the study of methods and strategies used for teaching different subjects effectively in the classroom. While theoretical foundations help teachers understand why education happens, pedagogical studies focuses on how teaching should be done. Pedagogical studies focuses on the methods and techniques teachers use to make learning effective and meaningful. It helps teachers learn how to explain the concepts clearly, how to engage students in learning, how to make lessons interesting, how to adapt to teaching according to learners. The first is teaching of mathematics. The pedagogy of mathematics focuses on how mathematical concepts can be taught in the clear, logical, and activity-based manner. Many students fear mathematics because it is sometimes taught only through formulas and memorization. A trained teacher uses visual aids, real-life examples, activities, and problem solving. For example, instead of writing on the board 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, a teacher may show 2 apples and 3 apples and ask students to count them together. Students learn mathematics better when they see and interact with objects. This makes mathematics interesting and less frightening. Teaching of science. Science pedagogy focuses on learning through observation, experiments, and inquiry. Science is not only about reading facts, it's about discovering how the world works. A good science teacher encourages students to ask questions, observe natural phenomena, perform simple experiments. For example, instead of simply explaining photosynthesis, a teacher may show a real plant. Place one plant in the sunlight and another in the shade and ask students to observe the changes. Through this experiment-based learning, the students understand the concepts more deeply. Teaching of social studies or social sciences. The pedagogy of social studies focuses on helping students understand society, culture, history, and geography. This subject becomes meaningful when teachers connect lessons with the real-life situations and the current events. Teachers may use maps, storytelling, discussions, historical examples. For example, instead of only explaining historical events from a textbook, a teacher may say, imagine you are living during the freedom struggle. What challenges would people face? This type of questioning helps students think critically and emotionally connect with history. So why pedagogical studies are important? Because pedagogical training helps teachers make lessons clear and understandable, maintain students' interest, use different teaching methods, address different learning styles. In the conclusion of this, we can say pedagogical studies transform subject knowledge into effective teaching. They help teachers present knowledge in the ways that make learning meaningful, engaging, and understandable for the students. So the third component of the structure of teacher education curriculum is practicum and field experience. Practical and field experience refers to the practical training component of teacher education where teacher trainees practice teaching in a real or simulated classroom situations. Let me define simulated classroom situation. In teacher education, it is important for the teacher trainees to practice teaching before entering real classroom teaching. Therefore, teaching institutions or training institutions create situations that simulate or resemble actual classroom teaching. In these situations, classmates may act as students, The teacher trainees practice explaining a concept. The teacher educator observes and provides the feedback. This allows the teacher trainee to learn from mistakes and improve teaching skills. While theoretical foundations explain why education works and pedagogical studies explain how to teach, practicum helps teachers actually practice teaching. Practicum and field experiences involve real classroom practice where teacher trainees apply their knowledge and teaching skills. This stage helps teachers develop confidence in teaching, classroom management skills, communication skills, practical understanding of the students. Thus, the main components of the practicum and field experiences are micro-teaching, lesson planning, internship in schools, classroom observation, and let's discuss them one by one in another slide. So the first is the micro-teaching. Micro-teaching is a training technique where a teacher trainee practices teaching a small lesson for a short time to a small group of students or pairs. Usually the time is 5 to 10 minutes. The topic is a small concept and the audience is the pairs or the small students group. The purpose is to improve specific teaching skills such as the skill of questioning or the skill of explanation or the skill of using of teaching aids or the skill of classroom interaction. For example, suppose a teacher trainee wants to practice explaining photosynthesis. Instead of teaching a full class of 40 minutes, the teacher trainee teaches only one small concept for 5 minutes to a group of classmates. After the lesson, the teacher educator gives feedback, the peers suggest improvements, and the trainee teacher then improves the lesson and practices again. This helps teachers refine their teaching skills step by step. Second is lesson planning. A lesson plan is a structured plan prepared by a teacher before entering the classroom. It answers important questions such as, what will I teach today? What are the learning objectives? Which teaching method will I use? What activities will students perform? A good lesson plan usually includes objectives of the lesson, teaching methods, teaching aids, students' activities, and evaluation. For example, suppose a teacher is teaching the water cycle. A lesson plan may include showing a diagram of the water cycle, asking students questions about rain and clouds, conducting a simple evaporation activity. Because of the lesson plan, the teacher teaches in an organized and effective way. The third one is internship in schools. An internship is the stage where teacher trainee teaches in real school for a certain period under supervision. During the internship, teacher trainee teach real students, conduct classroom activities, manage classroom behavior, prepare lesson plans, participate in school activities. This experience helps them understand the actual responsibilities of a teacher. For example, a B.Ed student may spend several weeks in a school teaching subjects like mathematics or social studies. During this time, the trainee learns how to handle different types of students, how to maintain discipline, how to explain difficult concepts clearly. This experience builds confidence and professional competence. And the fourth is the classroom observation. Classroom observation means observing experience the teachers while they teach. The trainee teacher carefully watches how the teacher explains concepts, how the teacher interacts with students, how the teacher manages the classroom, how questions are asked and answered. Observation helps trainee teachers learn practical teaching strategies. For example, a teacher trainee observing a science class may notice that the teacher starts the lesson with a question, uses simple experiments, encourages students to participate. These observations help trainee teachers learn effective teaching techniques. So why practicum and field experiences are important? Practicum training helps teachers connect theory with practice, develop teaching confidence, improve classroom management, and understand the real classroom situations. So in conclusion, we can say practicum and field experience transforms the student of education into a real teacher by providing practical opportunities to apply knowledge, skills, and teaching methods in a real classroom situations. So this is all for today. Thank you.